If you've tried meditation before and believe you can't do it because your mind is racing, you've misunderstood what meditation actually is. See, the idea is to pay attention to your thoughts, and it takes practice. It would be no different to learning how to play an instrument. If I was to give you a guitar and ask you to play Jimi Hendrix, you wouldn't be able to do it. It would take practice. So you wouldn't complain the first time you sat down to play that it didn't sound like music. Well, meditation is exactly the same. The first time you sit down and meditate, you're going to be captured by your thoughts. With a little practice, you can increase that gap between thought and action. You can start to make better choices. And this becomes applicable to health and well-being, taking care of yourself, having self-respect. You already know that you should take care of yourself. You already know that doing exercise is important. Eating well is important. So once you build a relationship with your thoughts and you start to recognize and understand that you are not the thinker of your thoughts, you didn't author those thoughts, then you can start to make better choices that are beneficial, choices that create growth. You can proceed through things that are classified as uncomfortable, such as doing exercise or getting in the ice bath, having a cold shower, doing an intense workout. These do create growth, but the ego is going to complain. Now, once you implement a system and you create a habit, you leave less room for negotiation, less room for procrastination. And there'll still be days where you don't feel your best, where you didn't get a good night's sleep, where you've not eaten. And that gives the ego room for complaining, room for poor choices. And that's where the practice comes into its own. Recognition, observation of the thought process. It really is one of the most important lessons we can learn, is building a relationship with our mind, understanding how the mind works. I can't rate it highly enough. And the only place you can do that is through meditation. Recognize the doubt and thought that say, I can't meditate because my mind races. That's the practice. It's about paying attention.